Hey, I'm Lexi, and as you may know, I bought the HTC Evo 3D. I upgraded from the HTC Evo 4G. Yeah, I guess I'm a bit of an HTC fan. I had the Touch Pro and then the 4G, and now I have the 3D. So people keep asking me what I think after having it for a little while now. All I can tell you is from a user standpoint and somebody who is into the tech stuff, how it compares, basically just how it compares to the Evo 4G. So after using it for a while, here are my thoughts. There are a couple things that disappointed me a little bit, and then there are a couple things that I'm happy about. Overall, was it worth the $50 to upgrade? Absolutely. A couple of things that have been a little bit disappointing. I thought the battery life was going to be a little bit longer on this one, because that was a bit of an issue with the 4G. Unfortunately, the battery doesn't seem to last any longer. I ended up having to get a second battery and a charger so that I can swap it out in the middle of the day. Otherwise, the battery just won't get me through the day. The other big thing that I found disappointing was I was so excited about having a 1080p camera on this phone, but I found out after I got it that it actually plays 1080p. It doesn't record 1080p. So even when you're in the 2D setting, it only records at 720p. A little disappointing, but you know, nothing I can't live without. Now on the pro side, one of the biggest issues that I had with the 4G was I kept running out of space for the apps. There are some apps that you can't put on your SD card. And I was pretty much every day having to go through and delete another app because there was something else that I wanted and I just never had enough space. I have not had that issue to date with the 3D because it does have 4 gigs of internal memory. So as far as space goes, I'm excited about that, and that alone was worth the $50 upgrade for me. It also is noticeably faster than the 4G. Not that the 4G was ever really slow, but this is faster. You know, the technical spec is it's got a 1.2 gigahertz dual-core processor, and that is probably why there's a noticeable speed increase. And then the other cool thing is that it is 3D. Not that I'm using it all that much, because not a lot of people can play the 3D, but you know, it's a cool thing to have, and you know, it's a cool little party trick. Here it is, by the way. I haven't actually shown this. And then the other really cool thing is the wireless streaming to my computer and my TV. I can take whatever movies that I've got on here and whatever pictures, and then without even having to attach a cable, I can, my TV and my computer are DLNA capable, so without even attaching a wire, I just go into Media Share, the little Media Share app on the phone, and set that all up, and then I go onto my computer or my TV and I go to HTC sharing, and voila, I have whatever I've got on here on there, which is cool. Also, just on the resilience factor, I did actually drop the phone in a drink, and it does not seem to have been affected whatsoever. So that's good. It lasts. It's tough. The one thing that was missing on the, I don't know if you can see that, but the battery is dying. So the one thing that I was really missing was the kickstand, but I was able to get this case, which gives me a little kickstand, so I can do it this way, I can do it this way. That's kind of cool because with the 4G kickstand, you couldn't stand it up in a portrait mode. So I like the case. A little problem with the case though is that it's really hard to get off, and that wouldn't be a big deal if the battery lasted, but being that the battery doesn't last that long and I have to swap it out every day, it's kind of, you know, the case, you really have to kind of get in there, and well, actually that one came off pretty good, but normally it's pretty difficult to remove. And then the other thing is this little kickstand, once it's closed all the way, it's, well, Okay, there it goes again, proving me wrong. It has been, up until this point, impossible to open it without like getting a penny and digging it in. But for some reason, today, it's opening. So, I don't know, maybe it just needed to loosen up or something. To summarize, definitely worth the $50 upgrade from the 4G. I don't know if that's still going on, but when I went in to trade in my phone, they gave me $150 towards the purchase of a new phone, and at the time, if you got a 2-year contract, this was with Sprint, at the time, if you got a 2-year contract, the phone was $199, so basically I paid $50 plus the taxes on the full amount, so it ended up costing a little bit over $100. Was that worth it? Yes, absolutely. Would it be worth it if you had to pay the full $200? I'd still say yeah. It's more of a toss-up, but with just the convenience alone of not having to delete apps every day, I like that. So yeah, I would still say it's worth it. But if you ended up having to pay the full price for the phone and you've currently got the 4G, I would say don't bother upgrading. There's just not that much of a difference to be worth that price. So there you have it. That's my review of the 3D. Overall, I do love it. All right, thanks.